Time for some dry bone. Them bones, them camp dry bone. Time it. 8 PM. Oh yeah, we run faster now. Nope, still up here. Is he in a house? Yes. So there used to be, as far as I can tell, there were 6 countries. They're all city-states because in RPGs it's really difficult to have an actual country be the size of a country. So they're like one giant city-state, like Rome. But shit went down, and one of them's been invaded. I don't actually know where one of them is. But Alamigo's been invaded by the Empire. So all the Alamigans... not that land. That place. I don't know where it is. There's Little Alamigo. There's a place called Little Alamigo, and that's where all the refugees of Alamigo go. But obviously, lots of people were disrupted during the war, so most of them go to a place called Uldar, the middle of the desert. I assume you mean in-game refugees. I don't know anything about real-life refugees. I mean, other than what's common knowledge, I guess. Because Uldar's like a sultanate that has like loads of little gems who are rich. It becomes really relevant to the plot as well. Because at first you play through this and you're like, are you equipped to tell this story? Like, do you really want to tell this like relatively realistic story of refugees in a game that's ostensibly about using anime powers to kill gods? And it's like, they do kind of commit. I'm still not 100% sure they should be. But, I mean, things like Final Fantasy VII is like blatantly about environmentalism. So, I guess, you know, you can have your politics in your RPG. It's quite difficult. I mean, if you're going to talk about kings and kingdoms, then you're going to hit politics of a sort, regardless. Especially if you're going to have Ubermenches, which is technically what my character is. Because a god essentially went, you're special, but like that's how all RPGs work. There's going to be a tiny bit of Nietzschean philosophy in there, regardless of whether it's appropriate. But I don't think you can ever get away with that. But like in this game, there is quite a lot of effort putting. Hang on, there's quite a lot of half the game going, oh, you're amazing, you're Captain Amazing, and everyone telling you how amazing you are. But also, you do have to have all people helping you. You can never do stuff alone, so. They don't go straight into that. I mean, like a Doom game where you literally are by yourself. Why, yes, I am Professor Lambertaint. Why, I do have the most unfortunate name. Beg pardon, you wish to hear about my research on corrupted crystals? Truly, but nothing would give me greater pleasure than to discuss my work with a fellow woman of science. Okay, Need to take glasses. I have some glasses already though. Okay, do they skip all these quests? Ah, so rare it is to find fellow intellectuals in this region. 'Tis even rarer to find one capable of comprehending the nature of corrupted crystals. Come to think of it, there was a hermit to whom the church had given sanctuary. Curious fellow, unsociable, rather daft at a first impression, yet possessed an amazing affinity towards scientific pursuits. But to the matter at hand, did you say you wish not to conduct field observations, but to harvest the corrupted crystal? Egads, woman, at least take the necessary precautions before you do not... What? Take the precautions so you do not suffer from exposure to its harmful energies. I'm beginning to wonder if you have sufficient qualifications to handle such hazardous materials. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice when they put the effort in. Like, obviously, kind of, you're vaguely forced to, I guess, if you're going to be to. But like, a lot of people shy away. But like Final Fantasy X very much talks about institutions and things like that. Oh, that. Yeah. Well, that's two things, as far as I know. One, just 'cause everyone hates the storyline right now. And there's always a bit of people being angry at Warcraft for the storylines with Sylvanas. And there's at least one very big streamer called Asmongold, I think, who's been streaming Final Fantasy, and so a load of people follow him across. But the other reason is that Blizzard it's like being sued for I think a woman committed suicide, and it's like just Blizzard Activision have been really dodgy as of quite a while, but like, yeah, just really bad things. Yeah. And I think they're being sued by people as well. It's just so people are like, you know what, fuck Blizzard. And, oh look, there's this game over here, which doesn't have a terrible reputation. So yeah, I think it's like a perfect storm of just really poor reputation on Blizzard's part. And of course now things are coming extra. Once one bad story comes out about like the internals, because I think they're going on strike and everything as well. People start going, well, here's my story that no one would listen to. Here's, you know, the sort of Me Too thing. So you get more and more stories, and people are like, well, yeah, I can corroborate these as well. So yeah, like I'm not planning on touching a Blizzard game anytime soon. I can tell you that. Like I have no idea the reputation of this company because it's a Japanese company, right? And Japan doesn't have the greatest of reputations when it comes to worker rights and stuff like that. But like, there aren't terrible stories coming out, and it doesn't have that whole Sylvanas thing. Like, people are generally enjoying the story. Still, your ignorance is somehow endearing. Luckily for you, I have precisely the means by which these inherent dangers have been averted. Simply store the crystal you seek within this warded pot to protect yourself from deleterious effects. No, deleterious effects. That's not a word I use. Though I suppose you will be bombarded with its energies until you place it within the vessel. You know, like the whole Among Us thing as well, where it only takes a few streamers to, like, make a game successful, because everyone follows them. Well, perhaps it shall motivate you. And arguably it only takes one big streamer, because then other streamers go, oh yeah, I see the wind's blowing. And, you know, cascades. Because for them, it's their livelihood, isn't it? What am I doing here? So this version of the game has loads of quests cut out because they want people to get to the content. At some point, there used to be a lot more kind of faffy quests. Yeah, it's kind of like Warcraft where they didn't quite know how to build a game yet. I mean, considering Realm Reborn is 2.0 and you can never play 1.0. They did so poorly. I think. So they cut out a lot of kind of... well, that guy there who said, oh, go to a thing, used to have to go to a person and go to a person, do quests for that person, and then come back and then he'd give you what you want. And like every quest line is like that. And they just cut out everything they could while making the story still work. And yeah, and they didn't cut out anything that doesn't make any sense. They're just like, oh yeah, you know, I would talk to you, but you need to talk to my men in the camp to trust you for, you know, those sorts of quests. Look at these tiny orcs. Oh, that's just his name. Don't trick me into thinking you're a tiny orc. Haha, Sacco. How many times must be made to explain myself? I'm not contemplating suicide, you imbecile. I've chosen this precise position to perform scientific measurements. What do we have here? Containment vessel. Why, this is the handiwork of Professor Lambent Taint. You kneaving knave, I shall call for the... Oh, you say the man himself lent it to you? Then you must have sought me out per his instruction, which means he believes me experienced enough to expound upon his explanations. Alas, the recognition I so rightly deserve. Well, still not, like, great for the cold weather, but I'm at least not in a snowy place anymore. And it's roguish. To look, certainly. Okay, as long as you don't trade away these boots. Look at these boots! Doesn't quite work as well. I was wearing black. But they've got pink laces and they go with my hair. I'm never selling these boots. Yes. It's a lot. It's certainly a lot. Look to this guy. Oh, I can't. You can. They're great boots. And like you get used to, because they've cut out a lot of the quests as well. Now it's like, oh yes, I would talk to you, but you need to talk to my friend, and you just go in like a string of them because they still need to introduce all the characters. But now all the characters don't have 10 chores for you to do, so it's like, oh, I would help you, but he's got to... Okay, now he's got to... And you just meet 5 people in a row, and then you get sent immediately back. Oh, frabjous day, Kalu Calais, that I should be chosen to guide this woman. Yes, I, Hakasako, greatest professor of Lambertine's pupil, shall see that you successfully quarry your quarry. Your timing is impeccable, in fact, for I was preparing to procure corrupted crystals from the burning wall for my personal research. There, the devastating destruction caused by the calamity has blessed us with a bounty of sublime specimens. But something tells me that naught but a perfect peace will satisfy your high standards, in which case you must needs descend to the deepest depths, amidst the flowing waters, and the murderous Mirrorites lie. Mirrorites, they're literally from Final Fantasy XII. Lies the most fantastic formation I found thus far. Take this highly advanced researcher tool, use it to separate a small fragment from the large cluster, place it within the warded pot, and bear it back to me for inspection. The path which leads from Burgundy Falls to the base of the boiling wall is treacherous and terrifying, but advance with an appropriate caution, and you will surely survive. Go. Where? Okay. Let's do. Okay, let's do it. Oh yeah, I've been in here. Oh, that's where the gossamer comes from. Crystals. Oh, you waiting for Black Mage, are you? There's floating stone. No, I'm not doing your quest. Do you offer anything good for your quest? No. D is for dead. Did I miss it? No, I didn't miss it. This is Golden Fleece. There's Mirrorites. Literally models from Final Fantasy XII. I don't get why there aren't more models from Final Fantasy XII. You should just take them all if you're going to nick them. Right. I'm guessing they've been modified slightly. They don't look like they're modified, but like, because if you play Final Fantasy XII on like an emulator, well, yeah, there were always reasonably high-res models. It's just that playing on a PlayStation 2, your resolution was really low, which is why they could easily master 10 and 12. What am I doing? Because it's down. I mean, it's down. Past down, and I didn't see it. No, Mirror Knight, I don't have a quarry with you until the quest starts. Ugh, how do I get there? Let me jump down, you bastards. No, I don't want to attack. I don't want to attack. Ah! Okay, my Pokemon is doing great. Did I need that? Okay, Well, it's down there. I get that. How do I get down there? Hang on. I think it's this way. Yeah, fine. Save me. Stupid bird. I shall play you the song of my people. Generally some sort of rabbit song. Keep guard out, bird. Good bird, not the bad birds. It's probably quicker to just ride from there. How's my tea? Hours. That is quite some time. Made a proper go of it. Is that a drone? See these walking scrubs? I ride in style. Oh, on a bird, in the very least. And again. Yeah, I suppose the Crystal Tower's nearby. Relatively speaking. Oh, across the bridge. I guess while they queue up, they do that. That makes sense. Haha! See, you've come galumphing back. Have you the crystal? This guy's a massive fan of Poe. What a prodigiously large and lovely crystal. Professor Lambentaine will doubtless chortle with joy when you present it to him in person. When upon your return, do remember to count how I helped prove your harvest. Woo! Thank you for the tip. Haha! Cheers. I need to make a... oh, I'm talking quite loud. A golden snail for that, for the tips. Though I think the last person who tipped actually took their money back, because you can do that apparently. It was very weird behaviour. Like, it wasn't a lot of money, it was like a couple of dollars again, which is quite cool. But like, it's just sort of weird to take it back. Although I have no idea why they would do that. But anyway, thank you very much. Cheers. Yeah, like I haven't said anything to them because they come back, and I just think, I don't know, like if you don't want to, that's fine. Like nobody's forced to give any money. It's just weird to tip. Because I've seen somebody, I've seen like a troll type in chat, tips $50, and I'm like, yeah, you just wrote tips $50 in italics. I can tell. My activity feed tells me when people tip, and also a big noise happens, as you just saw. But like, yeah, this was just a nice person, so maybe he just didn't have the $3 or something. It was just kind of, it's odd. The only reason I found out, because I don't check. The only reason I found out is because, hang on, how did I find out? It was kind of heartbreaking, I'm afraid. Oh, what was it? Oh, yes, I went to buy a game. I went to buy my brother a game. And I was like, hang on, how was it? Oh, I went to make an account with, I think it was a grey marker seller. And they were like, you have an account. Look, you own these games. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I don't own these games. And I went through my old... basically, somebody had somehow linked my PayPal to an account. And somebody stolen about 430 quid off me, basically. Because I had to go through my entire history. It happened right at the start of the pandemic. Right before I changed all my passwords. So I changed my password not knowing I essentially stopped somebody from stealing all my money. So I was very lucky that's all the money I'd lost. But yeah, but I found out that like he took his $3 back, and I was like I really did I didn't need that right now. Like, I don't know, over time I would have just found it funny, but it was just like a weird insult after, and I couldn't get any of it back because it was like 6 months ago. Because eBay would do stuff, but there's like a month I think it was a year ago and I had 6 months, something like that. I was out of the range, so I just none of it back. I reported it to the stores and to the eBay and not eBay, PayPal, and to the authorities that said they'd get back in 28 days, and they did not, because people are like, well, you should speak to them. Anyway, I got nothing about that apart from all I can say is, well, at least it was no more than 450 quid. The thing that annoys me the most is they didn't fucking shop around. They just bought stuff at full price. Like, why are you even going to the grey sellers if you're not buying things cheap? Anyway, I didn't mean to bring that up. I was suddenly reminded of that. Anyway, I appreciate your tip, by the way. But yeah, I mean, I must have literally just... Because for my work, when we got sent home, my work was like, you should make one of those accounts where you pay and put your passwords in. And I was like, okay, fair enough, I'm a grown-up, I should probably do that. And I'm imagining that's when all the passwords got changed and they couldn't get any more. What I don't understand is how they linked my PayPal to accounts on like, because I had to unlink them in my PayPal. I was like, oh, they can't get in my PayPal, they can't get in my Steam. They were just using the, because you can buy things without having an account if you have an email address. So they must have had my email address and somehow linked it to a PayPal. And I have no idea how they did that. Because, yeah. Because I'm like, could you not do that? Could you phone me when somebody tries to link? Because I'll happily do that. But I've put things in, so everything I know has multi-factor thing in now, which I thought I did, but apparently missed out on one thing or another. Anyway, I didn't mean to bring up a load of like bad stuff after you were nice enough to give me a tip. Like, oh no, it's the worst thing. I haven't really told it to too many people because like it was quite upsetting at the time, as you can imagine. But yeah, I was like, oh fuck, that's ruined. I think it was on like day one of my restructure, so it was just like, oh, and I don't get to eat either. Can't even have comfort food. Yeah, that fucking sucked. Yes, like they could have easily cleared out the entire thing. So They must do as well. I check as well. I occasionally check my, but I couldn't have checked for the entire year. I used to, like, just occasionally just check how much money I'm spending, you know, as one does. Yeah, it's a very weird feeling because it's yeah, it's yeah, you get in arguments and stuff, and bad things happen to you, but it's usually happens in a kind of direct way. My brother had his house robbed once, and like they stole all his computer games, like from CDs where you used to put them in there, and they took a Homer from his fridge. Like you open the fridge and Homer says a funny thing, and like he just felt violated apparently. Like had they stolen his car, it would have been considerably less money's worth of stuff. He had a really big collection, and I had to move into his house because he was really paranoid. He just never wanted it empty anymore. But like it's the Homer that hurt him because like that's deeply personal. Like somebody went in his fridge and took like something that was worthless and clearly just a personal fun thing of his. Like, and the other thing is he had like a really big. He had a mech game and like a 120 quid joystick essentially. You know that you could do, and he didn't have the game, and the game's quite rare. So he just had this very expensive plastic peripheral with no game with it. Anyway, that was like years ago. He's gotten over that now. But obviously, at the time, obviously, I hadn't experienced anything. Where have the dude gone? But like, in a lifetime's worth, I'm relatively lucky in that sort of sense. Oh, you're rubbish at jumping. I'm putting the whole bunny hop thing to shame. Oh, bloody hell, it's suddenly really hot in here. What summer had ended? You know, I should remember where the scientist has gone. I know you're in here. My keen scholar sense tells me that you've obtained a corrupted crystal. Am I right? If you would grant me the moment to examine the crystal... Ah, it is as you've desired, a corrupted crystal overflowing with wind-aspected ether. Remind me, for what purpose did you intend to use the crystal again? What? To breach a barrier comprised of wind-aspected ether? Oh dear, that may prove problematic as this crystal would only serve to strengthen the barrier. I suppose I am at fault for not inquiring as to your objectives. So he does this like 4 or 5 times originally. Like, oh no, that's not, but you've got to do it again. Had I known your intent, I would have never sent you to Hasako. But what is science if not trial and error? Can you truly say that this failure has taught you nothing? Think, woman. You now understand the methods necessary to collect the corrupted crystal. You'll doubtless have no difficulty doing it once more. What's more, a crystal you've studied can serve as an invaluable resource for etheric studies conducted by students of Baldessian. You've heard of them? Well, I don't mean to boast, but I have a professional relationship with the organization. Not as equals, of course. I would never be so bold as to claim that level of expertise. Are you alright? Your eyes seem to have glazed over for a moment. Anyway, I shan't keep you... So that's a joke about me having to continuously go to new people, which doesn't make any sense anymore because this is relatively quick now. Yeah. And it's all... It all kind of makes sense that when they take all the things out, suddenly events are happening immediately. Like, if you defeat a Titan and somebody rings you up, you immediately go and they've been kidnapped, and you're like, when did you have fucking time to do any of this? So, like, time's supposed to pass, and clearly time isn't passing anymore because I'm doing everything absurdly quickly. What do I want? None of them are good. We'll take the gold. Corrupted crystals of sufficient size and strength are not all that common, I fear. Fortunately, one of our other students, Siena, claims to have discovered another promising site in eastern Lanosia. Another bunny lady, a taller one. Wait, that's not correct. Eastern Landnosia was where she was nearly killed when wandering too close to an Imperial castrum. Ha ha! Now that made for an amusing anecdote. It was Western Landnosia. Pharos, Sirius, and the Isles of Amber, to be precise. I can't recall her exact reasoning. Something to do with Dalamud's talons or some such nonsense. What I can say for certain is that she was still in Aleport attempting to gain access to the Isles. Why not travel there and see if Sienna's inquiries bear fruit? You can look past the crass and violent ways of the local pirates. You might find yourself time to be there to be quite pleasurable. Oh, and do not forget to take your makeshift warded pot, lest she think you unprepared for the task. Level 41. Not sure if I'm going to have time to get to 50, but I mean, certainly not tonight. Well, maybe. Eh? Corrupted crystals, madam? I'm no interested in being the butt of your jokes, so if you know of a reason for addressing me, kindly leave me be. Well, I'll be damned. Professor Lambertain did send you. Beg your pardon. It seems that we got off on the wrong foot. I'm Skaina, greatest of the professor's pupils, which is doubtless why I bid you seek me out. Indeed, I'm an accomplished scholar with an extensive background in... Oh, God, just listen to me prattle on and on. I must have given this introduction a dozen times by now. As I told the professor in my many missives, I believe the area surrounding Pharos Sirius is replete with corrupted crystals of exceptional strength. Unfortunately, I have yet to test my hypothesis, as all access to the Isles of Umbra is prohibited at present for reasons unknown to me. You see, my attempts to acquire this information often met with annoyance and disdain. It's rather puzzling, since I always take my time to explain my motivations in great detail to the subjects of my questioning. I don't know, I should have gone for a posher accent. Mayhap you will have better luck wresting information from these yellow jackets. I've all but given up at this point. Yeah, they haven't eliminated all the faff then. Oh, you startled me. Don't you know better than to sneak up on a person at a time like this? What's with all the fatuous gossip of spirits and spectres haunting the Isles of Amber? Just because I know it's nonsense doesn't make it any less frightening. Okay, that's certain doom, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not good at accents. For some reason, it doesn't stop me from trying. You're keen on travelling to the Isles of Umber? Bloody hell, lass. Are you drunk or just crazy? Ain't nothing there but death. Death and more death. I mean, I probably should just, like, try and learn them if I insist on doing that. But, I mean, who has the time? Because I have something I vaguely aim for, and then it just goes nowhere near. The Isles of Umbra. What interest have you in that god-forsaken place? Ever since we were forced to abandon Pharos Sirius, the Isles have become naught more than a graveyard for ships unable to navigate the shores, and a purgatory for the souls dragged down to the depths with them. Thank you. Yeah, I can't really help myself for some reason. But yeah, occasionally they'll say any road, and I'm like, well, that's an accent. It's not an accent I can do, but it's one I recognise the terminology for. I'm kind of forced to try. Any road? Okay, I have no idea what... I'm just going to say no. Ah, Naive, you've returned. Tell me of your findings. Really? Infested... I'm assuming she actually has a kind of Hermione-type voice. Infested with the undead, you say? That is a very, very interesting development. Excuse me for a moment while I gather my thoughts. Worry not, my friend. I've given your findings some thought, and I've concluded that this talk of spirits is naught more than local folklore, as As for why all travel to the Isles of Umbra is restricted, well, mayhap it considered too dangerous, owing to the abandonment of Pharaoh Sirius. Any road. It's fun. And it's because the only way I can do accents as well is to only way I can attempt accents is if I have like a word I know that's in, you know, like saying Father Ted, because you can do that, and then you can continue vaguely in that direction. But until I have the key word, I'm locked out of the accent. Yes, well, anyway, while you were questioning those yellow jackets, I paid a visit to the local pub, since even an esteemed scholar like myself enjoys dulling her wits on occasion. It was there that I heard tell of a man named XIV, who was recently detained after returning from, wait for it, the Isles of Umbra. This is the first I've heard of somebody actually travelling to and from there, so I'm curious as to how he obtained permission. Having a chat with him in my stead, he was arrested. Mind having a chat with him in my stead? He was arrested after all, so I'm somewhat reticent to approach him myself. Yeah. So I misjudged. I heard Pirate City, and I just went with Pirate City, which is a local accent. That's quite a way to break the ice. Oh yeah, we saw the prison a second ago. Stupid invisible wall. Ah, I have to go back. She calls to me, sings to me. Ugh, till Miqo'te, I'm sorry. Give him this. He was right. Oh, could you release me? Yes, release me. I will go and tell her. Let me go and go to her. Ah, we're dealing with sirens. Phones exist in this world, just that only my party uses them. I've had at least one quest where it was like somebody here, and somebody here, and I'm like, I could just stand in the middle, just shout these instructions back and forth between you two. New road. What did XIV have to say? That's not terribly helpful. I couldn't care less how much he misses his favourite bar wench. But what was that about a man named Miqo'te? Wait, I know that name. That's the bastard who grabbed my arse the other day at the pub. Well, if you want to give him that feather, be my guest. I'm not going anywhere near him and his wandering hands. I've met... There's Miqo'te. Another initiate, are you? No? And what you up to? Speak up, missy. I can't hear you. Yeah, bugger me. What's that accent you were trying to do then? Is this what I think it is? Ah, couldn't be. You found this, you say? What you say, you found it? XIV, you say? Was hoping to have a word with the lad, but it sounds like there's naught left twixt his ears. He was supposed to help patch up Pharaoh Sirius, was he? Company sent me to supervise a lot of them. Weren't getting work done on their own, see? Half of them walked off, half of them ran off, half of them up and vanished. What's that? You'll be looking for the passage to the Isles of Umbra. Why didn't you say so? I've been thinking of dispatching somebody to take a look on behalf of the old Miqo'te. Tell him how the land lives. Ain't nobody yet been interested until you came a-calling. All ports up in arms, about spirits and so forth. If I had the gill, I'd hire some hill swords and let 'em sort it out. But you'll do at a pinch, you will. Show this parchment to the skipper and he'll see you there and back. The other thing that happens sometimes is I find the accent halfway through the sentence and I pivot. Because I go, no, this is better. Which is a weird journey to take. Again, especially when you're not especially good at accents. So you went and had a word with Miqo'te? I hope the valuable time you saw fit to waste amounted to something. You mean that disgusting creature was Skyfriend's superior? I find that hard to believe, but this rite of passage... Is it rite of passage? It's right, isn't it? Does appear to be genuine, so it must be true. I must say it is a relief to work with such an industrious woman as you. I look forward to hearing of the discoveries you will make on the Isles of Umbra without me. 42. Fine. I fail to see the justification for dragging me along on your journey, but if you insist, I will go as well. But 12 be as my witness. If you leave me behind to be devoured by some horrid abomination, I shall come back and haunt you. I skip. Take me to the Isles of Umbra, she bids. As if it's as simple as, oh, I see you got a rite of passage. Alright, climb aboard. This doesn't seem all that bad. I'm not saying I'd like to build a summer home here, but oh, the hell's with this. Take your pot and go on without me. You've harvested corrupted crystals before, right? So it isn't as though you require my assistance. Speak to the man guarding the gate. I'm sure he'll let you in. Now, if you would please excuse me. David? Beg your pardon, madam, but how did you come here? Access to the island is currently restricted. An old pot. I'm not sure I follow. Oh, I see. You wish to harvest a corrupted crystal. Sorry, friend, but you may have to return empty-handed. The right master Miqo'te gave you may grant you access to the island, but only authorized personnel may proceed past this point. Why, you ask? Look up and see for yourself. When that giant mass of crystals struck the lighthouse, it caused severe damage to both the structure and the machinery within, what once powered the beacon. Oh, he's now said I. He's changing the accent. Why are you called David? Contrary to what the small folk would have you believe, the fires of Thara Sirius were not the product of a mage's thaumaturgy or a colossal arcane bomb, but an elaborate contraption fueled by etheric energy. Repairs are still ongoing, but if anyone's guess when they'll be complete, what's worse, all work has ceased since rumours of the Walking Dead drove off our entire crew. Not that those rumours are incorrect. I've observed the fiends from a distance, at the ship graveyard to the south. What's drawn them to our shores is still a mystery, though. I'll make you a deal, Naev. Help me unravel this mystery, and I'll bring you your corrupted crystal. In fact, I shall begin searching for one that satisfies your requirements. As for where to begin your inquiries into the situation, it just so happens that a party of 3 adventurers came ashore not long ago, seeking to scavenge valuable trinkets at the ship's graveyard. I'd be surprised if they knew nothing of the undead infestation, though it might behoove you to question them. That was a lot, John. Hope he doesn't talk anymore. It's overtaking 5 bleeding years' worth of wrecks in their cargo, but that's quite dead things and the voice. Actually, the voice was quite nice. You saw him too, right? Dead people just shambling about, without a care in the world. Except when they do seem to care. That is, start shuffling towards the water. Gods, that voice, that single fleeting verse, I can still hear it. Stay clear of the southern shore, friend. It took every ounce of my strength to resist. This talk of an alluring voice is disturbingly familiar. As if... But that's impossible. They're all dead, aren't they? But if they have returned, that would mean... Oh, beg your pardon. I was just thinking about something. Which reminds me, I received word that Master Miqo'te would be arriving any moment. Apparently, he grew frustrated waiting for the sweet young lass with the skin as soft as phoenix down to return, which I'm assuming is you. I don't know what sort of arrangement you had, but you should probably go and explain yourself. I was gone. I've been here for like a minute, Miqo'te. What's been keeping you, initiate? I ain't getting any younger, you know. Eh? Some honey-voiced harlot's been calling out to the folk what wander near the ship graveyard, and it's stirred up the dead and all. Bloody hells, this takes me back to the days of the cannon boy sailing under the old Mistbeard. Hang on, Mistbeard's the thing, isn't it? But they wouldn't dare, would they? Not after the lesson we learned them the last time. Ah, they bloody would. Though, wouldn't they? Brazen old biddies. Ah, some folks said the first purge would be the last, but I knew deep down in my bones that as this day would come. And come it has, I bet me bum me ear the sirens behind all of this. Nay, not one of the sanguine variety as yet. I speak to the other kind, them what's got feathers and lure sailors to a watery grave with a sweet, sweet song. Oh, but it don't end there. No drowning's just the start. See, even in death a man stays bound to the beast, forced to do her bidding till his corpse can't do it no more. 'Tis a fate I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy, except maybe in drink, and I'd regret it after, any road. 'Tis up to... It's ruined the accent again with any road, because it just... No, it's now you're Yorkshire. You've got to be down in Yorkshire to say that. You're the only people who say any road. Or, you know, there's a whole bunch of places, I'm sure. 'Tis up to us to stop this hell's born hussy afore she takes another soul. Of course, we can't send you marching off to war without these. The siren don't have no power over a man as can't hear a song. 'Tis lucky for you I carry a spare pair, and lucky for both of us. I'm a superstitious old stud, eh? Well, she ain't coming to us, so we best head over to the ship graveyard, initiate. I might say any word, I don't know. I'm not king of knowing which words belong to which accents. Reborn. Yeah. I'm comfortable doing terrible Welsh and comfortable doing terrible Irish. But for some reason, I can't do terrible Scottish, or good Scottish, obviously. Which would probably be quite a common accent in this world. You know, if they weren't all Americans. If she passes near the shore, she'll be sure to spy the campfire. Come looking, just a matter of waiting now. I'm beginning to wonder if some sly bugger ain't spun us a yarn here. I shouldn't name check what accent I'm attempting to do because I might accidentally hit a real one, but be wrong. Right, do you hear that? 'Tis her. Look, out over the water. She come, Initiate, she come. Quick, lass. Shove them plugs in the ears. Get ready for a fight. As soon as she realises you're deaf to her ditties, she'll call on her pals and we'll be up to our necks in corpses before you know it. Sorry, I can't hear you. Yes. The embrace. Find everything all. Brilliant conviction. Breaking limits only as a true warrior. I've got some brilliant conviction. Should I use... I'll use my song. I've got my own song. Can't outbard me. Okay, now have I just forgotten how to play? Actually attack these people. Well, how many rounds I have to do? Stop trying to fight me and fight me. Bunny hop. Bunny hop. Bunny hop. Trousers coming. Help. Help. Dost thou not relent regret forever alone. Where's the bumble on me? Stop chucking bubbles at me. I love a river. One look, soul shiver. No. Getting in my rotation. Well, big skeleton boy is dead. You gonna come fight me now? Yeah. Oh, I wanted to fight the siren. Eh, I'm alright. Ha! I'm better than that, Initiate. Happy as a sailor in a whorehouse I am. Because I'd be happy as a sailor with two whatsits if we'd got the songstress. But you can't have everything, can you? Or was she in a dungeon? She'll not come crooning around here, though. Not for a while, any road. And if she does, well, we know what to do, don't we? Thanks for the help. And, bugger me. I've clean forgot your name. Remind me, Nive. Don't recall having no initiate by that name. But if you're not my old mate, or what's name, why you been so bloody helpful? Never mind. Be seeing you, lassie. Okay, lassie says Scottish and not Irish. I can't do that voice. Drew. Okay. I know how to say the name Drew. Drew. Obviously, it doesn't help that the most famous Scottish person has a really weird accent. He's Connery, but not doing his accent for anything. You mean it was a siren? But how were you able to resist her song? I see. I had heard that Master Miqo'te was involved in the first purge, but I never actually... Having survived an ordeal like that, I can't blame him for carrying earplugs around with him. Anyway... Ooh, he says anyway. I have something for you. The corrupted crystal you wanted safely sealed within the pot. Just as you requested. Please take it with my compliments. Go. Which is teleport. Oh, it's you! Welcome back, Naev. You're looking remarkably hale, I must say. And more importantly, alive! You are alive, aren't you? I rushed through that, but... Aha! The conquering hero returns bearing a gift. Might I have a closer look? Impressive. Very impressive indeed. Yes, I think you'll be quite pleased with this specimen. Congratulations, Naev. Seldom, if I've ever encountered a corrupted crystal composed of such volatile overabundance of fire-aspected ether. What? You wanted a corrupted crystal composed of ice-aspected ether to counteract the effects of raging wind? Well, this specimen won't help you there. Anyone who knows anything about the elements could tell you that. You'll have to keep looking, I suppose. Don't fret now. I know exactly where to find a corrupted crystal comprised of ice-aspected ether. An associated of mine in Miqo'te has been studying the effects of one such crystal on living beings. I can't believe they didn't cut this down. I get it, they still have to introduce the characters, but like, come on! Eh? What's with that expression? I thought you'd be pleased to hear this news. This is not another wild dodo chase, I assure you. What's even better is that this time you needn't use that warded pot of yours to protect yourself from the crystal's energies. Hayden's findings suggest that it's quite safe. Why, you ask? Well, let's just say that he's undergone a unique process that's rendered such precautions unnecessary. Anyway, do not let me keep you. It's been a pleasure, Naev. Come back and see me sometime, alright? Oh, it's been a while since we've been to there. Okay, I'm assuming they're playing the instruments on the PC, because I have no idea how you do that on a console. Okay, no. Double check. Open to Seeking Solace. Okay. Let me double check these. Oh. Okay, is that some sort of mini game? You read it, John, you'd know. Cool. I know what this is. This is a Bishop quest. Right? I thought they were later. Either way. You're not rabbit traders. You're not even rabbits. I don't think I need any of those. Hang on. Miqo'te. Right. I think I'm going to take a break in about 25 minutes. Maybe have some food. I woke up very late. Work tomorrow's going to be difficult. Greetings and salutations, Miss Alterian, I presume. Jaina informed me of your adventures in Elport. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding, though. Professor Lambertain's fond of saying, no action taken in the name of science is ever truly wasteful. To the matter at hand, corrupted crystals are possessing the properties you seek could be found in the abundance at the standing courses following the calamity. Alas, that is no longer the case, but while there is at least one suitable crystal that remains to be found within 12thwood, precisely where it is at any given moment is more difficult to say. Permit me to explain. You are familiar with Spriggans, yes? Very little rascals that are wont to seek out ores and other stones. Well, one such crystal, with an infamously insatiable appetite, has single-handedly devoured every corrupted crystal in 12thwood. Fortunately for you, these crystals have taken an eternity to digest. Assuming they could even be digested, I am reasonably confident that one still resides within his gut. It's quite fascinating, really. My theory is that this Miqo'te first consumed a corrupted crystal when... You couldn't care less about this, could you? To the point, then, Miqo'te seldom makes his presence felt unless there's a particularly fine fodder to be had. Therefore, we shall require a lure, and I have precisely the sort you will find it impossible to resist. Simply place this true heart. I shall save the story of the origin of its unusual name for another occasion outside of the Spriggan's lair and wait for the opportune moment to pounce. As for the method by which you retrieve the crystal from his gut, I shall leave that to your discretion. Let's make way. Yeah, I've given up on the idea of it going of getting to Garuda within, obviously not within the half an hour at the very least. But maybe I'll go over the time if I get it just before. We'll see. I've sort of just grown used to it faffing now. Baby pun. A mushroom, that's not a bun. Right. Ooh. Hello, lurker. I'm just making my way across Sorrel Heaven to the standing in order to get... Well, there we are, the Spriggans. And I have to kill some Spriggans as well. And I can't jump down there. I must cross the bridge, of course. Here we... No, not there. Go around this tree. past the lindworms, through the farmer and his troubles. I'll trouble him no more. Across this bridge. Hello, Toadstool. Hello, Lightning Sprite. Delicious. Hello, Spriggans. Say hello, my Chocobo. Spriggan. Because I might have to kill him for my quest. Let's play the song, my people. Sure they'll enjoy it. As well as all these other offensive... Ahoy! Uchi! Ahoy, ahoy. Oh, here we are. Okay, I will trouble you no more, Spriggans. I have a bigger quarry. Oh, he's dead. Oh, is that a quest? Or let's leave that alone. I think that's somebody's quest. I think I did accidentally start a fight, but whatever. Oh, look at this big boy. Crystal Bearer. Wonder well over time. I appear to have annoyed this crater golem though. Always the way. I'll just beat him as well. I feel like it won't be very difficult. I've forgotten how to speak. I've been doing this for quite some time. There we go, lovely. Defeated the Giggity. Oh, cool. Amphitheater again. To the amphitheater. I have seen Sherlock, yes. I've seen all of it. It starts better than it ends, in my opinion. Amphitheater, John. There's like a 2-hour video on what everything wrong with Sherlock, but the best way to explain it would be it makes loads of promises, and when you think it's going to fulfill those promises, it's great. And when you realise it's never going to fulfill those promises, it's awful. But I think the first couple of seasons are quite good. They're quite charming. Like he makes the argument that had Moriarty, like if you just took out Moriarty, well, there's a subplot of Moriarty in like the first 3 episodes, and the first 3 episodes would actually be better without him, because then they'd just be tied to episodes. But like, because he spends 2 hours talking about it. It's actually quite a good video. But yeah, I think the straw that broke the camel's back, as it were, was when Sherlock, when he died, and we were like, oh, but he came back. How is it going to come back? And, everyone was like, oh, it's going to be this cool mystery. And then they never explained. And they're like, oh, the explanation's not important. It's like, kind of is. And but, yeah. Other than that. But, like, yeah, I enjoyed the first 2 seasons when they came out. I think it's more that the first 2 seasons are sort of hurt by the existence of the following 2 seasons. And that's unfortunate. Like in the same way that nobody watches Game of Thrones anymore, right? Game of Thrones season 4 and season 3, people would watch the entire season before the new seasons were released, right? And as soon as that final season came out, nobody watches Game of Thrones anymore. Ha! Pray do not sneak up on me like that. I was engrossed in... Wait, what is that? What is that god's awful smell? My word, that is a breathtakingly beautiful crystal. See, my supposition was not mistaken. Ah, and I also see you want to reverse the digging through the Spriggan's entrails for your prize. We owe our furry friend a debt of gratitude, you know. The thick coating of the digestive juices protecting us from the harmful effects of the crystal, just as the warded pot we once used did. I, so glum friend, finally obtained the corrupted crystal you sought, one overflowing with earth and aspected ether. Calm down, I jest. It is comprised of ice aspected ether. Worry not. I suppose the joke was in poor taste, considering your previous 2 attempts were for naught. Quest complete. Beg your pardon, I forgot to return your crystal to you. Oh, and there was a message from your professor. Lambertate, something about a man named Marx. Apparently the professor misses the intellectual stimulation. Forgive me, I should have written it down. It occurs to me that I've yet to ask why you needed that crystal. You aren't planning anything nefarious, are you? It would reflect poorly on me, my research, if it were used for evil ends. Ah well, perhaps it's best to I remain ignorant. I didn't become the professor's greatest pupil by filling my head with unnecessary information. No, just use the Ethernet. Adventurers Guild, do I... Oh, fine. Cool. We might have time for Garuda. We're gonna be pushing it. Be a great way to end the stream, though. Greetings, madam. Do you wish to proceed to your vessel? All repairs and modifications have been completed, Naive. Once you bring me the crystal, nothing will stand between us and Garuda. There we go. Yeah, okay, cool. We need to run some tests to be sure, but this looks to be exactly what we need. Worry not, Naive. I see that your hard work doesn't go to waste. I'm a rabbit. Yes, you are. The Enterprise is already more than a common airship, but mark my words, soon it will become something greater, something extraordinary. This is me. This is what I was born to do. Farewell, boots. Got some moccasins. Placed with moccasins. I mean, I'll put them... I'm not throwing them away or anything. But, don't like them. I want my boots back. It's fine. I like the character changing the look, you know, throughout the game anyway. I'll miss the boots, I won't lie. Lady of the Vortex. According to my tests, the device is now functioning in perfect harmony with the crystal, meaning we can leave whenever you're ready. But you must understand, tests can only tell one so much. Till we approach the Howling Eye, till we attempt to breach the barrier itself, I cannot be sure that this will work. I think it only fair to tell you that there is a small but statistically significant chance the crystal could trigger a massive Mayhap it is better we remain positive. And I ever want to thank you for reuniting me, my ship, trusting me to develop this plan for everything. Helped me to rediscover part of myself I'd forgotten. I'm not the man I once was, and I do not know if I ever shall be, but I do know one thing. This feels right. My apologies for the sudden outpouring of sentiment. We would have waited until after the mission, but, well, you understand. Sit back and enjoy.
There. She's ready.
Ah, she stirs.
Ah.
To Kurthus, and an audience with the Harpy Queen Garuda. Enterprise, engage.
Engage. It's a Garlean. Got a third eye.
I once flew in this airship, and I was not alone. There were adventurers on board. Adventurers like you.
I understand there's two versions of this scene, so if you were in the original game, it changes. So it would literally be you in that case.
Just how long have I worn these damn goggles? Ah, yes, I fancied myself a trendsetter in my younger days. The young prodigy, admired by all, exactly like his father. Born and raised in Garlemald.
I had a room with like 4 objects in. It was really boring for a while.
It was only natural that the precocious young student should become an engineer. Had his father not done the same? Father, when did we stop seeing eye to eye?
To eye, to eye, to eye. Yeah, I included all 3 eyes.
When did Meteor become your everything, and your loved ones cease to matter? You abandoned us all. But he was there for me, Father. There for me when you were not. Though he proved no better in the end. Gaius was just another man with an all-consuming obsession. And so I ran, left the Empire behind and came to Eorzea, where I built the ironworks.
Yeah, this bit here I think changes.
Ah yes, it was then that I first donned these goggles. Eorzea opened my eyes. It was home to so many manner of people, each with their own hopes and dreams. People worth saving, and so I fought beside them. I wanted to prove that my knowledge could serve a nobler purpose. I wanted to prove that there was another way. And it all began that day when I found my new home. I had forgotten how wonderful it was. The wind in your hair, the endless sky. That light. It was you, wasn't it? It's surprising how few people know this, but all pure-blood Garleans have a third eye. Perhaps mine helped me recognize you, or perhaps it was just a lucky guess.
I think a scene's different for people who are actually there.
The Enterprise was made for this. To carry Eorzea's protectors into battle. I am proud to be able to call her my own.
Sid? What exactly do you remember?
Alphinaud, my boy. Sorry to have been such a burden. I remember everything. My name, my people, and my purpose. Come, it would be rude to keep Garuda waiting.
Ah. I like the weather up there. Is the weather like fucking windy? All our efforts, all our travails, it was all for this. Ready nigh, for the end is nigh, be it hers or our own. Ooh. The Howling Eye. I want to check out the Stone Vigil. Nine minutes. If it actually is 9 minutes, that would be pretty cool. Doing it the Bard way is what level? 45. So we are close enough. That. So yeah, we still have stuff to do. How much time we have? 20 minutes? Yeah, we could do. It's just a fight, right? It's just a fight. How long could the fight be? Okay. Now I want to know what that thing over there is. I think it's the right way either. That's quite close, actually. That actually might be my quest. Yeah, it is. Yes, I want this. The Ballad of the Vainglorious Fool. Welcome back, Naev. By your tranquil countenance, it is plain that both your body and soul are ready in readiness for the next stage of your journey. Very well. The time is ripe that I'll teach you the Ballad of the Vainglorious Fool. The song tells the tale of an archer, the god's quiver, whose peerless skill was surpassed only by his hubris. Alas, that hubris led to the annihilation of his entire regiment at a battle that had come to be called the Massacre of Griffin Crossing. Ahem. Standing guard in the dead of night, and not you weary of the sight. Drunk on pride at the staff girly, forsook his post to claim victory. Then saw the arms of the archer crept, when shrieks rang out whence his comrades leapt. For he was not there to see the knives, or to ring the bells and save friends' lives. I think that's pretty good. Tell me, Naev, what is the lesson that can be learned from this tale? Ah, but hold that thought. What your tongue claims to understand interests me not. As before, I'd sooner have you demonstrate the fruits of your learnings with bow in hand. This time, however, shall have to pleasure my company. I would have you escort me to the Gelmora ruins in the North Shroud. It is there that some few fallen from the massacre of Griffin Crossing have been laid to rest. Pray honour this place of remembrance with a bouquet of lilies. Heed me, O Poissant Darthique. Cast thee back the reins to the firmament, that we might gaze upon the battles of yore. Is there a firmament in this world that clearly has a moon that you can go to? How would that work? Or is that just the name for the sky? Or just the name for the sky? North Shroud. Average wait time's actually gone down. Not now, Dryad, I'm busy. Might actually not be able to do it because it would be a thingy. Knock off trees. It's not going to let me do this. Oh, it will. No, it won't, because I'm in the duty finder. Oh. Okay, what else can we do? Little Solace. I mean, we can just do any of these, right? Would have been nice to have the extra spell, but it was like a crowd spell anyway. 5 of 8 minutes. Knows how accurate that is. It is now a Sunday night. Monday dancing, Tuesday gymnastics, dancing on a Friday night. I'll find him. Walking one walks with strength and... Oh no, I can just skip this. A little less interesting when you don't read them though. What was that for? Okay, well, we'll continue this. Where it is. I'll find it soon enough. We have to do this at some point. However, yes, we are fast approaching our time limit. Our arbitrary time limit, which we gave ourselves. Well, it's not that arbitrary. We obviously don't want this. I've got to download this at some point, and yeah, it might break. The bigger it is, the more likely it is to break. I'm guessing it's downstairs. A little confusing. Our average wait time's gone up. A couple of quests there. Yep. Right. Ah, cool. Fishman quests. None of those was the one I was actually trying to do, was it? Airship landing. Ah. The crow's left then. Ooh, just there, weren't we? No, we're in a different place. Yeah. I'm not super confident we're going to get this done. Oh, how do I get to Crow? Oh, never mind. Let's commence. Did we get anything done? Well, not really, but we set a load of things up. Who dares intrude upon my sanctuary? Your insolence shall not go unpunished, landwalkers. Twelfth Preserve, she's huge. As I live and breathe. Over there, look. Oh yeah, shit's going down. I completely forgot. This is going to go over time, isn't it? Malja and Kobold prisoners. Why would the Ixal bring them here? Wherefore you hither, foolish mortals? Garuda, we've come to put an end to your reign of terror. Hear you this blasphemy, my children? These landwalkers would bring me low. You who are bound to crawl upon the earth should revere me, for I am the wind. Did we not take to the skies and slip your defences? We are bound by nothing, Garuda. You think your playthings give you strength? They will not help you here, Landwalker. This is my realm, where none can challenge my supremacy. Struggle though you may, I shall slake the roots with your blood and festoon the canopy with your entrails. Yes, it's been a really long stream. I'm about to end it, but I thought, fuck it, end it on a high. Slay the unfeathered ones we shall. You're unfeathered. An offering to Garuda they will serve. Leave the Ixal to us, Naive. We'll keep them distracted while you deal with her. Do not fail, Naive. Remember, you fight for the Scions, for Eorzea. Yeah. This worm would die by mine own hand. Come, then, I shall grant you that which you seek. There's a lot of faff between right before this and Titan as well, though. I forgot that to get to Garuda, there's a massive fetch quest. Guitars. There we go. I'm not really going to talk this one through because I'm just going to concentrate on not being rubbish. At least try. Do I go there? You know, I'll keep that just there. There's no harm in being close to where I should be. Oh, don't do that again. Is this now where we hide behind things? We got these plumes. Yeah, that would fucking hurt, I guess. We have songs available? We do. Let's play the song of our people. Shit. Yeah, they get progressively harder and harder as well. Listen, I'll give that arm's length. Put these back on. And no, I can't. I might have done it already. Oh, it's not that sort of fight. How does feathers rain from the sky? That's the worst place to have the red feathers. My power, no! How dare you, right at the moment. How fucking dare you, Godzilla. No, no, no! Actually, can I get... Man. What? How in the hells? This is my realm. You have no hope here. None. None! Did you truly believe you could defy a god, Landwalkers? My power is limitless, my children legion, and they have rendered unto me a wealth of crystals. Their gifts sustain me, their faith empowers me. None save my children will escape the reckoning mortals, and those who would use my crystals to awaken the rest shall realize the folly of their faith. Then all worship but none but me, the one true God. Of course, worship. So as long as the Ixal keep praying, she'll never fall. You two are supposed to be taking care of the Ixal. And let's go stop them. Ah! Ha 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 ha! No harm will come to you, my children. This is only the beginning, Landwalkers. All who oppose me shall suffer their defiance. For their defiance. Soon the worms of the forest shall receive my judgment. The desert vermin next. Their walls of stone will not shield them from the tempest. And then I will take vengeance upon the sea lice. Their wooden boats cannot outrun the wind. Tremble, mortals, for I shall visit you all in time, and all shall be mine, all mine! What? You, Landwalker, you who dare to raise your hand against me, you shall be the first to pay for your sins, not with your death, but with your life! You will serve me, Landwalker, to your last breath. Yeah, I can't be enthralled. It's like a power I have. No. No, I claimed you. You shall be mine. Oh, I'll be taking that. Did I tie him today? That would be my final crystal. Cool. Oh yes. What? What are you? What have you done to me? Farewell, brother. No mortal should possess such power. This is impossible. Yay. Right. I'm hoping the next cutscene won't start immediately. Because, you know, I could probably do with taking a break as well, to be honest. But yes. Plot be happening, yo. But it might start again in an hour or so. Like 30 minutes or something. Just because the stuff's going on right now in the plot.
Why do you not tremble at my might? Why do you not beg for mercy? Why do you not die? We've done it.
I could have quit doing it in there, couldn't I?
Garuda, kill you all.
Is that all? O Lady of the Vortex, O mighty Garuda, of all primals the most terrible, I say again, is that all?
Gaius!
Ah, Sid, my boy, you look well. For one who has forsaken kin and country, I wonder what else you will forsake before the day is done.
What?
Huh?
What exactly did you hope to accomplish here this day? Well, I shall accomplish far more.
Is that all? Is that all? Insolent mortal! I shall make you suffer! That foul stench! I see now. She has touched you! Very well.
Seven hells, does she still mean to fight?
Our Lord of the Inferno Almighty, grant us succor in our hour of need.
Succor.
Save us, Titan, Lord of Crags! It hurts us so! The pain! The pain!
What is she? 12 preserve. She cannot mean to.
Typhrit. Ah, they just come separately.
No, this is all wrong.
Stop gawping, boy. We must run.
Surrender yourselves unto me. I would feast upon your ether. None shall stand against the wind.
Oh, shit. Ultima weapon.
Bear witness to the glory of the Empire!
Bit in every Final Fantasy where the tyrant and his empire shows off their might. Bit later than they do in other games, but that's because there's a lot of emphasis on the tyrant.
is you who will suffer, Garuda. Ancient Alec had ways of dealing with your kind. Now, look on their ultimate weapon, Icon, and despair.
No! No! No!
Well, shit.
Magnificent. It exceeds all expectation.
Those are terrifying ships.
Each primal it consumes, it grows more powerful. A marvel, is it not?
I had to eat them in the right order then.
Such is the fate of those who oppose the Empire.
Can you put railings on that ship?
There will be no warriors of light to save you this time. If your leaders are as wise as they are reported, they will surrender.
I haven't played Final Fantasy 1, 2, and 3, 4. Alt weapon hasn't been introduced yet. Because I know the names from... the name Alt Weapon is from Final Fantasy 7, of course, but Ultima... Hang on, he's in like 5 or 6? I think it might be 5.
Your skills are impressive, but they will not be enough.
Now we're just going to sit in our castle for a while. Not do anything with our obvious advantage. Could have just exploded that ship.
12, have mercy. What chance have we against such an ungodly creation? And who was that armored devil?
That was Gaius van Balsar, legatus of the 14th Imperial Legion and Supreme Commander of the Garlean invasion force in Eorzea.
Of course. The Black Wolf. How could I not realize? Grandfather mentions him in his journal.
I was never so naive as to think the man would abandon his ambitions. But these developments are beyond my worst expectations. What have you been doing these past 5 years? How could something of this magnitude have escaped the Alliance's attention?
We heard no whispers, saw no signs. In the wake of the calamity, the Empire seized land and built outposts, but that was the extent of their aggression.
Damn it, Gaius. Where in the 7 hells did you find that thing?
He said ancient Alag.
It has been a day of unexpected developments, but the fact remains, Garuda is no longer a threat. While I take no comfort in the manner of her downfall, it does mean that we may safely put the matter of the primals to one side, for the time being at least.
Which just leaves the matter of Gaius's new toy.
I guess the Empire isn't...
Indeed. That weapon poses the greatest threat to Eorzea. It must be destroyed. But first, we must needs find out all we can. Let us make for Vesper Bay. We shall rebuild the Scions. All is not yet lost, my friend, for we bear the light, and shall surely lead our people from the darkness.
Okay, but I'm going to let you go. I need to take a break. It's been a very long stream. Awesome. Right. Well, if anyone is still here, thank you very much for watching. I've been John Proxy. Get out of the waste now. I've been having a Final Fantasy XIV Adventure of the Life Stream Edition